Foxy Floodgate, and I almost have to, I just want to know, where is Queasy at? Because he's got to be close by.
If I'm any person in this lobby, but Queasy, of course, I'm saying please pull north. Get away from these mountain ranges. Get away from that dip in Foxy Floodgate. And if you're a team that's realizing what's happening in this game, a very, very similar zone towards last game, you got to start to look at your materials. Do we have enough? If not, how are we going to get it? Some would say maybe a refresh, farming where you can if you're on the slow side of zone, but sometimes things like that aren't always possible. And you can see Pixstorm and Demus in that exact situation. Even though they're 356 above the damage threshold, you're seeing the side that they have to rotate in, Taco, stacked like pancakes.
It's just so impressive to think that this is a team, this is their first LAN, and they're not playing anything like it. But Mr. Savage, Chap, they've now got to see if they can pull together here. Reason with the double revive, they bring him back up into the mix, but they still have such an uphill battle to tackle here because they're so far behind. And look at all these teams that are piled into the zone just in front of them. That edge is going to be tough to break into.
Yeah, and that's where you see Spinx and them trying to be the trolls underneath the bridge, a little bit of a safer rotation, talk about natural elements to try to use and crowd some of these shots. To 488, drastically below, almost need 3 straight eliminations. Savage is looking, but he's finding nothing but the lobby. Back they go, and a huge boost right there for Muzz, Shadow, and Spinx, because they are relatively high up above, but it's the loot. You can see half of the fizz gone, half of the splash is gone, so that was a must.
I think the bigger relief, though, for Muzz, Shadow, and Spinx is that they know with Mr. Savage's team having been wiped, there's nobody behind them. So now they can push forward and just control that more uncontested area of the zone. Still need to be wary, though. Are catching glimpses of Kanata, Bolt, and Rapid in the distance. And of course, Swizzy, Queasy, and Mustache steadily starting to scale their way up towards an elevated position, but there's several other teams nearby that have the same intentions.
Yeah, if you guys see multiple teams in the distance, Thunderbolt striking down, that Storm Surge, even though Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache don't exactly know those teams are below it, they will hear the shields crack. King's gonna go down, but Poyo is the one that's potentially stealing wins. And maybe even the loot as it fully gets cleaned up. Swizzy, Queasy, Mustache put the full target down on a PH-in. He's just trying to get some of that loot from his fallen comrade.
Do Swizzy and Mustache ever miss?
No.
The answer's gonna be no. Okay, no. PH-in eliminated. Mustache with another one. But that's actually gonna be the first one of this lobby. They've just been collecting so many eliminations throughout today's lobbies, Jacob. It's almost crazy to think that that's their first, but Queasy could be in trouble. Does manage to break away from where Bolts, Rapid, and Kanata are at, but Kanata, you know that he's scheming inside of this middle section. He wants to maybe try and set up for a Brienne on their back target, but they know there's another team directly underneath them. It's going to be Skull. Salco caught off guard. They're not going to be able to make that transition. Art still trying to press forward, but he's stuck in the corner. Art trying to fight back, but there's nowhere left to run, and Bolts finds that elimination.
That is a lightning strike if I've ever seen one myself. Bolts taking down all 3 players of the NA West Major 2 champions, Artskull and Salco. And the thing about Artskull and Salco, I saw it for just a quick moment, they were below the damage threshold as well. So their aggression, even though they are picking up eliminations, isn't working out as good as they hope.
But it's still a damper for Kanata and Bolts. Bolts now losing all of his shields. Still, he'll have the opportunity to recover that, but it's the loss of Rapid that's really going to start impacting where Bolts and Kanata might end up here. Fortunately for them, Zone pulling a little bit away from those mountain faces, so as a duo, they can still look to break through the low ground, but Queasy, Mustache, Swizzy, Gentlemate's going absolutely ballistic in this audience right now, and for good reason. Mustache said it, we're just gonna keep winning, and they've got 3 already at the international level, Jacob. A LAN historic event, and they're still looking to see if they can get more.
We are literally watching the Queasy legacy in the making. Levin said it himself. The last time Queasy won 3 games in a row, he went on not only to win that major, but win 6 out of 12 games. Something that has never been done on that region of EU ever before. and ever again. And this could be that moment in history that you look back at when you talk about how great Queasy actually is. It is all because of this, but there's still so many threats in their path. They just have to look up. They have to try to go for high ground and stop the play trade. Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo, they have been known to do it on NA Central. They just have to figure out how to do it here on the international stage.
They might have to deal with Pars, Baka, and Pump along the way. Yapko, Seti, Panzer, they've also done a rather excellent job at just maintaining consistent performances, and they're looking for yet another repeat here, trying to clear some space in that secondary height. But they know if they want their odds to turn this into a victory royale, they're going to need more than just secondary height. Pump falls to Clix. This is big time for Xset because they need to pop off here.
Yeah, they truly are looking elite as a trio and taking the front side of the zone, something Yamzo knows to do best. But they have to be careful. Marius, Vanya, and Pixie, they're bouncing around with those crash pads, instantly climbing up that mountain, and that just means better positioning right away and give them that luxury to look back, see all these other players rotate through. He's peeking through the stair. He sees Acorn, Aders, and Boyo, but it's not ready to go for it just yet, and nobody has even had an opportunity to look up. They're attacked at the backside of zone. They're attached right in the middle. It's not even going to be easy when somebody eventually does.
But that's the problem. Nobody else can actually make their way up toward the high ground because Sweezy, Queasy, and Mustache refuse to budge. They just keep shutting down every single opportunity, forcing these teams to converge onto each other. As iDrop now trying to see if he can collect an elimination there, a knock, anything. He needs a massive refresh here, but it's Pixie who finds Hottie, Marius, Pixie, and Vanya now looking to see what more they can seek out.
4 eliminations so far into the top 12. Placement points are flying in. Half of them at least at the top 8 is Veno, Vico. They're in that line of path. Marius looking up for only a quick second, not really focusing on the Queasy up above. It's probably too hard. You see the materials being drained right out of their inventory. Everybody else feeling the same thing, forcing Yamzo, Higgs, and Clix to drop down low. The blessing is they're in the front side of zone, so they have a little bit more to work with.
But the control from Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache on the high ground, Jacob, they're forcing all of these teams to swap players to ultimate low. And with that in mind, Mustache, Queasy, Swizzy, just nonstop berating. These teams are forced. They're looking up, they're looking down, they're trying to find refreshes, but they have no breathing room. They are being suffocated right now by height.
With the conversations going on before the Global Championship, Boo probably smiling ear to ear right now with EU doing the performance that they are. But Kanata Bolts, they're trying to channel how they played in game number 1, finds a key elimination on the Reed. Not just elimination points, but placements as well. Cammy falls, 4 points from the lobby. Swizzy's trying to drop down low. He's just getting loot. He's bringing it back up to his IGL.
And that is all Swizzy has to keep tabs on alongside Mustache. Everything getting dropped at Queasy's feet so he can have the ultimate success here. But Marius, he's in too much trouble. Marius trying to squeeze away. It's Vico, it's Veno, and Flixie chasing them down. They know that they're going to have to clear out all of these players inside of these lower layers if they want a real shot at beating Queasy up on height.
Yeah, if there's any team that I think has a chance to look up and at least give them a fight, it is going to be them. As Marius, of course, outside of the zone, almost a 1v1 against Clix. And Clix gets the knock. Can he get the elimination? No, he can't. No siphon for him. But the battle, the inevitability is finally here. Vico's taking charge, but he's also taking most of that damage. Flixie's forced to reload. And Veno is in that mid-cut as well. A challenge that they did not find success on, but relatively so. Even if they might not have the high ground, they put Queasy and Mustache on the back foot.
And that's the problem, Queasy, Mustache. They could still tank a little bit of zone here just because of that exotic fizz, but at the same time, Vico, Veno, Flixie, they're now trying to remind everybody this might be it's Queasy's tourney so far, but we still want to take some of that. Mustache finding the biggest elimination of the Veno, the siphon carrying him forward. The hopes of Gentleman now resting on his shoulders. Flixie trying to hang, but Flixie wins it all, shutting down the dream here for Queasy. Veno saying it all. Anything you can do, I can do better.
We talked about the 6 of 12. It was that man right there, Veno, with Vico and Flixie by his side. They are looking like a terror on the lobby. Frankie, we gotta hear what from them by themselves.
We need to hear what you have to say, Flixie. What's it like getting a victory royale here on LAN in Leon?
It's great. I mean, we died off spawn, we clutched the game. It's really good.
And yeah, you clutched the game. I mean, it was quite the competition between you and the leaders of the lobby. Were you aware it was Queasy you were up against?
I mean, we knew it was Queasy, but we're just better than them, so we just went up and killed them.
I think you might need to get a few more victory royales before you can say that. I do want to come to you, Venno, obviously up against an ex-teammate you know really well. Does that make it a bit more satisfying or even a little bit more in your head? You know each other so well. Does that make it a bit more satisfying or even a little bit more in your head? You know each other so well.
Now, if I can't win this tourney, I want Queasy to win.
Oh, I've never heard him say such nice things. Thank you, Venno. And of course, Choco, à toi pour Vico.
How do you feel after this first victory royal, and how will you do the second one?
Hey, I mean, I feel great, you know.